Hi, I'm Terry, and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. It's this bitty box that would be perfect for, say, a Mother's Day gift inside. Here's what I used to make the bitty box, and I'm also going to teach you the technique to make the flower on top. Along with my Big Shot, I have my extended cutting pads and my bitty box and envelope. In color printed designer brads, a foam pad to use with the paper piercing tool. I used two punches. I used the 2 3/8 inch scallop circle punch and the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. If you have a crimper at home, it really helps you with the technique to make the flower. The crimpers are retiring with the Idea Book and Catalog, so if you like what you see today, you'll definitely want to pick one up before May 31st, and that's when they retire. Paper snips, snail adhesive, and I have some little bits and pieces left over from my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm still going to use those. For cardstock, Lucky Limeade, Poppy Parade, and the Poppy Parade Patterns Designer Series paper. This paper comes from this paper stack. This is awesome. You get tons. Now I've used several sheets, but this is the in color paper stack, and you get several different pages of the same design. These are the in colors, and so I used the Poppy Parade polka dot pattern. I think that's all that I used, so let's get started, and I'll show you how to make the bitty box first. So I just cut my cardstock to cover up the bitty box piece of the die because I don't need the envelope for this project. If you wanted to, you could make a long, use a 12 by 5.5 piece to make your envelope as well. My sandwich is the extended cutting pad, the bitty box die, the cardstock, and the top extended cutting pad. And then you're going to run it through your Big Shot. The nice part about the bitty box die is it requires absolutely no adhesive. Did you know that the bitty box and envelope die is retiring at the end of this month as well? That's one of the reasons why I decided to feature it for my Sundays with Sizzix video tutorial this weekend, was because it is going to retire, and I think it's a great die to have in your collection. All right, so this comes completely cut out with scoring lines, so you want to fold in on the scoring lines, and there's several of them, so just bear with me. Okay, there's 2 more little tabs. And then here we go. All right, to assemble the box, it's actually quite easy. You bring your tabs in there, and here and here. And then bring up the sides of your box. Oops, I've got one more score line. I always forget that score line. All right, let's try this again. So bring your tabs in, bring your sides of your box up, and then just close the lid down in. And then it also comes with a little slit, and so you stick the tab inside. And there you go. Isn't that cool? I think these are just awesome little boxes. I'm really going to miss this die. So let me bring this back in, and I'll show you what I did next. Was I cut a strip of Designer Series paper to create like a belly band. I didn't adhere it to the bitty box so that when I give this to the person who's going to get this as a gift, she can just slide off the belly band. So don't adhere it all the way around, or the recipient will have to actually tear it open to get inside the box. Now I'm going to show you how to make the flower. This is awesome. You're going to bring in your 2 3/8 inch scallop circle punch, and you're going to punch 3 circles using Poppy Parade cardstock. And 3. All right. Then what you want to do is break down the fibers of the paper. And one of the best ways I know to do it is to crimp it, run it through each flower through the crimper a couple of times. And that just softens the cardstock and helps it break down. Oh, I forgot to bring in one more thing. You are going to need your bone folder if you have one. I'm going to stop the video and get my bone folder, and then I'll show you the next step to do. Back in a moment. All right, I am back and I have my bone folder ready to go. So I have one of my scallop flowers that I have run 2 or 3 times through the crimper, and then you're going to take your bone folder and you're going to just start pulling firmly, but not so that you're going to rip the cardstock. And you're going to go around the flower and just rub the bone folder firmly against it. You can turn it over, do the same thing. Now as you do this, you'll see that the lines that were created by the crimper start to go away, and that's okay. That's not why we use the crimper. We use the crimper to break down the fibers in the cardstock and help give us a good start for creating this flower. All right, so you're going to keep doing that, doing it on both sides, and as you do it, and I'm going to bring in this one, you'll notice that it starts to pull apart into 2 pieces. Now, while I'm pulling this flower apart, I'd like to point something out to you. This is the difference between good quality cardstock and not so hot quality cardstock. The Stampin' Up! Cardstock is colored all the way through, so when I pull this apart to create 2 flowers, it's still Poppy Parade inside. Now yes, it looks a little raggedy inside. That's okay. We're not going to see that anyway to make the flower. So what I did was when I turned off the video to go and get my bone folder, I went ahead and did the other 2 flowers. So from 3 scalloped flowers, we now have 6 pieces. I'm going to bring in my pad, my foam pad, and my paper piercing tool, and I'm going to pierce a hole in the center of all of them, like so. And I'm going to get an in-color printed brad, and I think I will use Lucky Limeade. Stick your brad through the center, and that holds all of your flowers together. There we go. Open it up on the other side, and there we have a flower. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pull up each layer and kind of scrunch it up, and then bring up your next layer and do that for all 6 layers, and just scrunch it until you end up with this flower. And you can see my printed brad in the center. And then to create the leaf, here's what you do, is you take your 1 1/4 inch circle punch, or depending on the size of your leaf, this is the size I like. I punched 1 Lucky Limeade circle, then take that circle and slide it back in to create your leaf. There you go. And then if you have a reason for a moon, you have the rest of the leaf. So what I did was I adhered it underneath like that, and that created the leaf to go with the flower for my bitty box. And that's it. Quick and easy. Remember, the belly band slides off and you can put a beautiful Mother's Day gift inside for your special mom. For a complete listing of the supplies and the measurements that I used to create this bitty box and flower, please pop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. While on my blog, you can subscribe to my customer newsletter. It's free, and I email it out. There's a Join My Mailing List box on my blog. I have plenty of other samples. You can place an order for some of these products that unfortunately are retiring at the end of May. You can ask me a question, or I have lots of other samples. I also have a couple of online clubs that you might be interested in joining. I'm Terry. I am nuts about stamping. See you next time. Bye for now.